edtech company BYJU'S has now informed its employees that there will be a delay in disbursement of salaries for the month of March yet again. Now, BYJU'S management, in a communication to employees, blamed the situation on the interim order obtained by, and I quote, a few misguided foreign investors in late February, which restricted the usage of the funds which were raised through successful rights issue. Now, BYJU'S has also sought to assure staff that it is following a parallel line of credit to ensure that employees' salaries are credited by 8th of April. Yet another instance of where BYJU'S could not pay employees' salaries. What does it really tell you? Financial problems continue to brew. BYJU'S not able to even meet its daily operational needs and demands.
So I think what it tells you, number one, is that BYJU'S does not have enough cash in the bank. So the first question that most investors or most analysts want to look at is what is referred to as a runway. What happens if your revenues dry up? How many months can you sustain? What is the kind of cash runway that you have to be able to sustain operations? And it seems that in the case of BYJU'S, it is not even a few days because it hasn't been able to pay salaries even for the month of February in complete measure. In fact, just about half of the total salaries have been paid for the month of February, and we are already sitting on the 2nd of April. Salaries for the month of March have not been paid. So first thing it tells you is that BYJU'S does not have enough cash in bank to be able to write those salary checks and ensure that employees who have worked in the company for and the troubled company for the month of March have you're not able to pay their salaries. Absolutely. And that is absolute basic hygiene.
So no operational money at all to pay back.
So it seems
employees.
that even if there is revenue trickling in, then that revenue is getting consumed in other aspects, which could very well be legal fees and battles and more critical sort of functions of the company trying to survive. But employees and their salaries don't seem to figure in that priority list if there is enough revenue trickling in to be able to pay salaries. The other problem is
that 500 million that is currently lying with camshaft?
So all of that is frozen, right? The US courts have ordered in Delaware that money cannot be accessed, and that money is frozen.
Right.
Now, similarly, the money which BYJU'S has raised from the rights issue is also frozen because NCLT has given an interim relief to the investors, and Baiju Ravindran may refer to them as few misguided foreign investors, but the fact of the matter is that the courts have given that relief to those investors that perhaps, the debate on the rights issue and the legality of the rights issue is something that the courts would want to hear more on from both sides. So it doesn't have the cash runway to pay salaries, number one. Number two, it has obviously made bad investments which it is unable to get off its back because it's unable to make those high value sales of the high value purchases that it made in terms of buying those companies in the US, Epic and Great Learning, and large debt which is riding on the books as much as $1.2 billion of debt that BYJU'S owes to lenders who had lent money to BYJU'S, and a host of other issues from FEMA violations to whatever. So eventually the company has resorted to cost-cutting measures and vacating office spaces, resorting to employees working from home yet again, and the inability to pay salaries is all pointing only in one direction.
Perhaps a reflection.
Is that there is no money available with BYJU'S.
Absolutely, a reflection of the fact that there is no money available with BYJU'S at the moment. Remember, the edtech giant is fighting multiple battles on multiple fronts, but at the moment it's the employees who are currently suffering as far as BYJU'S is concerned, where salaries have been delayed yet again for the month of March.